3, 2, 1, go!
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Nerd Legion. Sorry. Yeah. Trying to not scream, but I screamed anyway. Achoo.
Okay, hold up. Okay, it's like you're trying to do an introduction, and then all of a sudden, you just went like, welcome back to Nerd Legion. And then you're just like, okay. And I'm like, dude, you had to start. Keep it going. Keep the hype, man.
As you can see, guys, welcome back. I'm Jose.
I'm Josh.
I'm Nathan.
Welcome back.
The big bad wolf.
Indeed.
Oh man, the big bad wolf just popping in, just howling in the beginning, and then all of a sudden just died down. Anyways, yeah. So I just saw this coming up on my YouTube feed this morning. The Hawkeye trailer dropped.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
literally.
Why does that trailer give me Die Hard vibes?
Okay, yeah. You know what? You got a point.
Yeah,
With the
you know what? Yeah, I see that. I felt that too.
Yeah, like it's basically Die Hard mixed with Jason Bourne.
That's true.
Do you guys know what Jason Bourne is?
I've
I know
never
what
seen
it
the
is.
movies, but I've seen the meme. Oh my god, it's
Okay.
Jason.
It's like Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Get your man off the ground. We gotta go. We gotta run.
yeah. Like the thing is that I haven't seen the franchise, but like I have like seen Jeremy Renner appear in a spinoff series called The Bourne Identity, I think. Or like there was a spinoff series that had Jeremy Renner star in the Bourne franchise, and then all of a sudden the sequel they showed in Matt Damon, but that's besides the point. That's how like the Hawkeye trailer reminded me of like that kind of vibe style. I originally thought it was gonna be more cartoonish or like a little more cheesy. No, it just gave me Mission Impossible, Die Hard, Jason Bourne vibes. That's all I got from it.
So
Yeah.
this is what I'm confused about. So seeing the trailer, my understanding, I thought that's he finds his daughter. I thought that's his daughter. Is that his daughter or no?
It doesn't. I mean,
Like story wise.
technically, yes. I think I don't know because like her name is Kate Bishop, and then Jeremy Renner's character is Clint Martin. So they're two completely different characters, unless that is her.
The only one that was left was
which
Hawkeye, right?
Yeah.
His whole family disappeared, and like the way it was, right? Everybody that disappeared, no time passed for them, but for everybody else who didn't disappear, 5 years passed, right?
Right.
So for Hawkeye, it was in years, but for the family, it was just like yesterday.
Yeah,
Right.
or maybe 5 or like a few hours, right?
Right.
Like, we haven't had dinner in hours.
Dad, what are you talking about? Jesus.
Right? That's the only thing that was weird to me. Like, if it was only a couple of the kids that disappeared, like, I don't know.
Right.
It wouldn't have worked with Hawkeye becoming Ronin, right? Or Is that who he is?
Well, yeah, Ronan. Sorry.
Yeah, like that was a nice little that's a nice little what's the word I'm looking for? Okay,
Right.
what's the thing? Yes. That was the word. Like for some reason I completely blanked on that. Yeah, like that is a very nice Easter egg for them to throw in when Hawkeye was like Ronin or kind of like a little bit of an assassin when he lost his family. That's a nice dark turn. I wanted to see more of that. I think we're gonna see more of that in the series, which is interesting.
Well, I heard him mention that his past is catching up with him, right? So it's kind of like Bucky atoning for being the Winter Soldier, right?
Right.
Now he's like having to atone for the stuff he did.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
go.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No. Like I was just saying, like, it would be interesting to see like what he has done before the events of Endgame that got him to be Ronin in the first place. Because I think that will take place in the series, and they might dive into that a little bit. Hell, I think they might dive into his character of like how he became the masked archer. Well, technically he's not masked, but in the comics he was, but still. Um, so we could like I think this series is really gonna dive into his backstory to a point where we will finally get to see character development from him because all we got to see was Hawkeye just pointing an arrow at Thor and the Thor movie, and then just Hawkeye literally being a mind control slave for Loki and the first Avengers movie, and then Age of Ultron. We got a little bit of character development from him, but it wasn't to the point of our liking.
Mm.
And then Civil War, he's just there.
Yeah.
And then Endgame, he kind of shined, but again, he was barely there. So it's like the Hawkeye series, I think, will really do him justice.
I think it's long overdue, just like Black Widow, in a way. It was. I really wanted to see more of, Hawkeye, see how he's doing because like it's a character I feel like needs more love.
To be fair, instead of them having a Black Widow movie, I think what they should have done. Well, actually, no. I think what they should have done is made a Black Widow movie, a Hawkeye movie, and then done a Black Widow / Hawkeye movie with their characters merged together because their storylines are kind of coherent with together, if that makes sense. Because if you noticed in the end of Black Widow, you have Madam Hydra meet up with the what's her name? Yolana or Yolana? I don't know how to pronounce her name right. But like but when Madam Hydra met up with her, she then showed her the picture of like this is the one responsible for her sister's death. So, and then showed a picture of Hawkeye. So technically, he didn't do anything wrong. She just sacrificed herself. So that is going to be an emotional conversation when that gets mentioned up in the series. I cannot wait to see that part happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys realize this is the 5th MCU series this year alone?
Yeah, they made 5 series, and we haven't even made it to the end of 2021 yet.
WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, and Hawkeye.
Oh, fun fact. Did you know that WandaVision got an Emmy?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah, for best show or something.
Congratulations to the creative team on that one.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them get more Emmys because I definitely feel that as time progresses, they're going to get more. I think the Falcon and the Winter Soldier might get one. I think Loki could get one.
The Mandalorian also won one as well. Congratulations to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Good job to the Mandalorian on that one. But yeah, like I could definitely see the Disney Plus or the Disney Plus original series doing better than what we expected. I did not expect the Disney Plus shows to get that good.
Yeah, I agree.
They're doing a lot better than what they started off. For me at least, right? For a lot of people, they had the Mandalorian and everything else was just kind of High School Musical, the series, which honestly I think is a really ridiculous name for a series. And everything else was just kind of eh.
Yeah,
Not
like
bad.
yeah, they tried to do a Hillary Duff revival, but then they canceled that.
Yeah,
So
that hit the fan.
yeah, yeah, it's
So,
like sorry.
so yeah, I think Disney Plus originals are getting better, at least in terms of like the offerings from their bigger franchises, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the Disney and Pixar originals that I think have a little bit more work to be done.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, like speaking with the Disney Plus series, we also have What If. Their latest episode dropped last week, and that was the one with the Marvel zombies.
Hmm. Yeah,
Everyone
that was a
looking
good
forward
one.
to,
Huh?
which everyone was looking forward to. At least most people were looking forward to, right?
Yeah, fun fact, that was the alternate episode. Originally they were gonna do Marvel Zombies until they threw in like I think we mentioned this a couple of times in previous episodes that they were gonna make Spider-Man to be like what if he became an actual spider? But then they
Yeah,
dropped that for Marvel Zombies, but because
that
it's
was
like,
considered
oh,
too dark.
so making Spider-Man an actual spider is bad, but having Marvel characters as flesh-eating zombies, okay.
Yeah,
That's a little bit
Yeah,
bizarre.
exactly.
yeah, just a little bit.
Oh my God.
Well, like I will say, like that that was the one that I liked the most for it. But did we talk about that in the last episode? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure we, for some reason, I thought we did, but at the same time, we didn't.
Hmm.
Uh, talk about what?
The Marvel Zombies episode in the last one.
Last episode we talked about the Doctor Strange stuff.
And then like
Oh, did right? Let's see.
right. Okay. For some reason, I kind of like saw myself in the future with this episode, thinking like, wait a second, did we talk about the Marvel Zombies episode? No. Okay, let's recap that. For those who have not seen that episode, you might want to back away from that and at least check it on Disney Plus first. But yeah, definitely the theories of people saying that like, oh, when Hope Van Dyne was in the quantum realm, she developed a virus that basically made her a zombie. That was the one that made the most sense in my eyes. So I'm glad they went with that direction. But the fact that they were able to pull that off and still keep it canon in the MCU variant timeline, it's like, damn, okay, that's interesting. And then you got to see what some of your favorite Marvel characters look like as zombies in the animated version. When
Yeah,
you have
Yeah.
Tony Stark, Captain America, which actually looked pretty gruesome with his jaw just dangling up from his mouth. That one looked creepy.
yeah,
Yeah, that was creepy for sure.
You got Doctor Strange as well, who was always there for half the seat, and I think Wog's head got decapitated.
yeah. Same with Iron Man.
Hope Van Dyne is savage, bro.
Oh yeah, like okay. I don't know why, but Marvel really likes to kill off Hope in the worst possible ways.
I know.
It's
Damn.
like Marvel. What do you have against Hope? Like,
There is no
oh,
hope.
touche. Yeah, but in episode 3, I think Hope got shot and killed. In the when the Avengers got killed, and then Hank Pym became Yellow Jacket. That was one. The second one was in I think in Doctor Strange something happened or something. I know like she got killed off at least 3 times.
Hmm.
Two of them I recalled. One of them is the when the Avengers got killed off, and what is our last episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It honestly,
Next episode we're getting Killmonger, so that'll be interesting.
I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, the Killmonger with Tony Stark of how Tony Stark never became Iron Man and Killmonger kind of saved his life. So that one is going to be in a very interesting direction.
I still haven't finished Black Panther. I'm gonna be honest.
You might want to get into that, but
Yeah.
just a heads up, in the MCU timeline, Killmonger is technically an anti-hero because he has morals, but I mean, like, some people could say that Killmonger is a villain. I don't see him as a villain. I see him more as an anti-hero for to a degree, because if you saw at the beginning, which by the way, Nathan, this is just a bit of spoilers, but in the beginning, he did end up losing his, I believe it was his uncle.
Yeah, I saw that part.
Yeah, like he lost his uncle, and therefore he wanted revenge, and technically wanting to cause world domination. For those in Wakanda, that's constantly being left aside.
Yeah.
Good way to throw in real world situations in a MCU setting. But then it's like you kind of don't really see Killmonger as a bad guy. You kind of see him as more as like someone who feels they were right. Feels like they were wronged from their childhood and wanted to prove himself that he gets to be he gets to be the one that dictates what he what not what on how everyone else should be like suffering the way that he suffered to a degree. So
Yeah.
so hence with this what if episode with Tony Stark, it's going to be interesting to see two characters that we never thought would like basically meet together for the first time and see how their characters align, and potentially Tony Stark could go to Wakanda and help him and help Killmonger obtain the throne in Wakanda. So that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. And get the vibranium, right?
Oh yeah, but this was before Iron Man 1, so technically vibranium didn't really exist. Or maybe he was in the process of working Captain America's shield at that time, so maybe not.
Do you think Iron Man knew about it? Like, he's pretty smart.
I mean, it's potential, it's their story. They could go how they wanted to go for it, I think.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to. I need to see how this next episode's going to be, because I thought it was going to be the last one. Anyways, yep.
Yeah, vibranium was there before the first Iron Man.
Yeah,
because-
but the real
because of the shield.
question is that did Tony Stark know about the vibranium at that time, though? I did know he knew about it in Iron Man 2. I don't recall if he had the knowledge about it. He did have like half a Captain America shield done, but I don't recall if he knew what vibranium was.
Hmm.
Like, I do recall him like mentioning it in Iron Man 2. I just don't know if the timing of that was in Iron Man 1. Hell, it's their story. I think they could just mention it too in the What If storyline. I think it'd be like, oh yeah, Tony Stark knew about the vibranium the whole time.
Yeah.
And then eventually try to obtain it to help Tony Stark repair his missiles for his weapons for most of the U.S. Army. So, because that's what he originally did before he became Iron Man.
Yeah.
I also have another question that's kind of related. I just finally finished Spider-Man Far From Home,
Yeah.
right? And I saw that part where Mysterio was talking about Tony Stark, right? And it flashed back to Civil War, right?
Yeah.
Did he actually appear in Civil War, or was that just an editing trick?
That's an editing trick. He was never in Civil War.
I wondered about that. I think he was, but
I
Yeah.
don't think he was. I do
I have
think
to
that
rewatch
like
Civil War and see if he did show up or not.
he probably
Yeah,
didn't.
that'd be cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, like I do think that like a couple of characters in Iron Man 1 that showed up in Far From Home.
Yeah,
It was basically like it was basically I don't know exactly what Marvel's trying to do. They're basically trying to set Spider-Man to be the next, main character of the MCU. but it's like it's kind of a little bit forced in my opinion. Like Spider-Man is his own character and he can literally carry the franchise on his own 2 feet without the assistance of Robert Downey Jr. / Tony Stark's legacy. Like
Yeah.
we don't need a constant reminder of like how he died. Sure, you can mention it briefly in the beginning of like how he died, but
Mhm.
that's it. Like we don't need any kind of any kind of other mentions of like, Spider-Man is now creating a suit from Tony Stark's nanotech technology, and it's like, well, technically that's not how Spider-Man made his suit, but okay. Had this gone into the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man's ways, this Spider-Man could have been formed a lot better. Not saying I don't like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like, I think he's doing a great job as Spider-Man. I just
Yeah.
think the writing in that direction could have been more so Spider-Man focusing on his own character development instead of using Tony Stark's outside characters and character motives and then just drop it right into his storyline. Because if you remember
Yeah.
back in Homecoming, you had Adrian Toomes, who was on damage control, lost his job because technically they're being laid off because due to the Avengers are doing the cleanup work now. But
Mhm.
then not only did they lose their job, but his motivation is basically to take advantage of people like Tony Stark for like getting rid of the little people, right? So it's just like, yes, those are Spider-Man villains, but they were heavily motivated by Tony Stark
Not by Spider-Man.
and not by Spider-Man. That's where the problem is, and that's why people have a problem with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, because it's all influenced by the MCU's outsources from Iron Man. And it's like,
He's not coming into his own. He's constantly being backed up by everybody else, basically, and it's like
which is the sorry, go.
which he needs to be able to come into his own, right?
Which is the problem. And thank God I wanted to mention this because this reminded me. But in this episode, Uncle Ben was mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important.
And then I was like, finally, Marvel in the MCU mentioned Uncle Ben, or at least in that variant timeline. Because it's like we never heard of Uncle Ben in the entire Spider-Man storyline in the MCU so far. So it's just like, where the hell is Uncle Ben? Like, at least acknowledge that he's dead. Like at least once. Like, we only want to hear that just once. But the fact they finally mentioned it now, and you see Peter Parker's character development through the apocalypse, it's like, this is the Spider-Man that we know and love.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the writers in No Way Home can able to fix Tom Holland justice, because so far I'm happy with the Spider-Man that we have, but I wish I could have seen more of his own character development and not just be heavily influenced by Iron Man support characters.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. We need a Spider-Man that it's his own thing.
hmm
Yeah.
Like they knew they were treading on like thin lines, because this was the third time that Spider-Man was being rebooted in like the last decade, basically. And they didn't want to do the whole Uncle Ben storyline again, which I get it, because it's like we know why he becomes Spider-Man. You don't need to see him become Spider-Man every single time. But at the same time, it's like they avoided mentioning Uncle Ben, which when Uncle Ben was basically the entire reason why Peter chose to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, like at least mention him in Civil War to start. Just be like, because I remember that one scene where Tony Stark asked Peter Parker, being like, what motivates you? Like, what gets you out of bed in the morning just to put on that onesie, or something like that. What they should have done is being like, well, after losing Uncle Ben, I slowly start to realize that with great power comes great responsibility. That right there is what they should have put in. It's just like, boom, you understand his character. You don't need to see the storyline. It's like you get it. It's there. It's the development is building.
And it
But
would
you
have been
see,
it would have been a fun tie-in to the Tobey Maguire films.
Exactly.
oh, 100%, 100%. That's what they should have done.
Because
But
now if Uncle Ben is mentioned, but let's say Tobey Maguire's Peter mentions Uncle Ben, which I see no reason why he wouldn't. It's like this Peter is almost like doesn't even know who Uncle Ben is, at least from our perspective. And it's like he's never mentioned him before. Does he even remember Uncle Ben? Right?
potentially, or maybe they could go in a different direction, being like Uncle Ben died when he was like really young. So
They effectively made Tony Stark be the MCU's Spider-Man's Uncle Ben, in a way, essentially.
which I honestly don't mind that. It's just, I mean, it just doesn't feel the same, in my opinion, because Uncle Ben's death hit hard, way harder than Tony Stark's death.
It hit us hard, but
Yeah,
really
like
didn't hit the character in the same way. At least it doesn't feel like it did.
yeah, which makes sense. More so that because we know that like Uncle Ben is a relative to Peter Parker, when Tony Stark is more like a mentor to Peter Parker. So it's like, well, obviously two different emotions for people that are like very similar. Well, they're both role models. It's just I think Uncle Ben had a bigger impact on Peter's life than Tony Stark, which is why I think his death should be hit harder than Tony Stark's death in Endgame. But the fact that they avoided it entirely makes me think that Uncle Ben doesn't exist
In this timeline.
in that timeline. That doesn't mean that he is not going to get mentioned later, unless this Uncle Ben is still alive. Then that's a different story.
That'd be something. But
I mean, sorry, go.
I think I remember seeing a friend of mine on social media there was being upset at the idea of Uncle Ben being alive.
Yeah, because that kind of ruins.
It ruins that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like Bruce Wayne when his parents died. It's like, well, if his parents are alive, then Batman will. Then Bruce Wayne would never become Batman.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Like,
He'd have no reason to.
no, because sometimes sometimes when a character goes through the stages of grief, it completely transforms their character into a new person.
Mm-hmm.
So without that traumatic experience, they would never go through the phase of becoming this becoming the person that they are now.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Oh yeah, guys, I have got some tea to spill about something we didn't get to mention last time when we actually covered the No Way Home trailer.
What?
Have you guys heard about the IMAX version of the trailer?
No.
what about it?
Well, due to the IMAX screens having a greater aspect ratio, we're talking like the visuals, right? Like the screen size being bigger and like showing more of the frame.
Yeah.
The IMAX trailer has revealed that the person with the white shirt and the sleeves, who we thought was Matt Murdock, it's not
Matt Murdock.
It's not him.
Or
Charlie Cox's character. It's not him.
I honestly,
Damn it!
I didn't know if that was fake or not, man. It's so.
I heard from the IMAX trailer that it's because of the aspect ratio, like showing more of the frame, and like it revealed that nope, it's not Charlie Cox.
Man,
that doesn't mean that he's not in it, but then again, Charlie Cox has been very coy about it and saying that he's not in it, and I don't know.
Let me look through the trailer because like I wanted to like see if that is the case. I'm just gonna put this on mute, but like I just want to see that one scene.
Yeah.
Because if that is the case, then we don't know if Charlie Cox is going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, like, honestly, even if he doesn't show in No Way Home, I don't think that really makes a difference.
Not particularly.
Because what is his role going to be? I think he's just going to be in there for, like, a cameo, and that's it. Or potentially show up for a fight scene.
Do you think the entire Netflix hero lineup would show up? Like with the same actors or no?
I mean, maybe.
Potentially. I mean, like, there's no way they would just recast the original characters, like, especially, like, how well Netflix did with the
It was
the
well
Avengers
received.
characters.
It was
Yeah,
well
like,
received.
the only characters that I think that they would replace, really, is Finn Jones as Iron Fist. The rest of them, I see them returning.
Why Finn Jones as Iron Fist?
Because I think the writing in Iron Fist was so fucking bad. Season 2 did a little better, but
I agree with the writing. Yeah.
But the writing was so bad, and I like after seeing Scott Buck return for to do the writing for Iron Fist, I was like, no. After what you did in the last season of Dexter, absolutely not. Thank God they are continuing it with a season 9, or season 10. The new season that just is technically now part of the end season canon. But still, the fact that he wrote that such a bad season, him returning for Iron Fist, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. And then after the pilot episode, I was like, it is exactly what I thought. So, and the fact that they kind of ruined his character, it just made me not want to like. I see potential with Iron Fist. It's just they didn't do him justice. What they should have done is done the writing similar to how the way Shang-Chi was done.
Right.
Because Shang-Chi did it way better.
See, the thing is, like when it comes to Iron Fist, the actor itself, like, do you feel like the actor itself did a good job, but it's just the writing did him wrong? Because to me, I feel like he was pretty good, like, in terms of being casted. He's just the writing was sucks, man.
Yes and no. I think it's a bit of an iffy thing. It's like Finn Jones will do as Iron Fist. It's just I think they should have casted someone a little more better.
Yeah.
Because Finn Jones was a little bit more of a thick character. Oh, sorry. Iron Fist is more so of a thick character. Finn Jones is more. He didn't look like he was in shape. Like at least at the start. Now like he looks ripped. But before it was like I just didn't see him as Iron Fist. I think I would have saw potentially someone shorter because Iron Fist was short. I think he's like maybe way shorter than Luke Cage, maybe like 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah.
So, and because Finn Jones was like a little bit taller, it was kind of like it just didn't work for me.
No, I totally understand.
Yeah, but to be fair, Mike Coulter, who played Luke Cage, was the tallest actor they could find to play him. And despite Luke Cage was like, I think he was almost 6'5", 6'6", I think. But Mike Coulter was like 6'1", 6'2". So they were like, you know what, that's fine.
I just sent a screenshot of the IMAX trailer.
Let me check Messenger. Oh, it went through an
Discord,
update.
actually. Sorry, Discord.
Oh, Discord? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Should be there in the chat.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Oh, I sent it to Craig, that's why.
Oh my god. Stop sending Craig everything.
Damn it, Craig.
You love Craig though.
It seems like
there you
Craig's.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not Charlie Cox.
Yeah, that is not Charlie Cox.
Not sure
Damn
who
it.
that is, but that's not Charlie Cox.
Damn it.
I mean, again, he still could be in it.
Yeah, but maybe that's not Charlie Cox. Maybe that's someone else playing as Matt Murdock.
Or maybe it's his like assistant. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe Matt Murdock has a like a firm, like a bigger firm now.
not potentially. I mean, like you never know, like where his placement is now. So,
Yeah.
but again, like we did hear from Andrew Garfield that he's not going to show up in Spider-Man: No Way Home multiple occasions now, even after the trailer drop. And it's like, dude, like,
There is
But-
leaked footage of him.
yeah, like you can deny it all you want. So Charlie Cox could just simply deny it. But even then, we all know he's in it because he doesn't want to ruin contracts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has to appease the his corporate overlords.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
Well,
yeah,
but he has to honor his contract. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But back to the Defenders things and with Iron Fist. Yeah, like with Finn Jones, like I think he's a good actor and he was a good person to play as Iron Fist. I just think they would have casted someone a little bit better.
Hmm.
But I'm not saying his acting was bad or the writing definitely screwed him. Like I will give him that. But I think they easily should have casted someone who could actually like even if they got really sloppy material, they could try to make the best of what they got. Kind of like with I can't believe I'm mentioning this guy's name, even though he's pretty much blacklisted from Hollywood now. Is Kevin Spacey when like he showed up in one of the Batman movies as Lex Luthor, and the writing was so bad, but he made the best of what he got from it.
yeah,
So it's like, well, yeah, you got really bad writing, and it kind of screws your character a little bit, but that still doesn't mean you can't work out the best of the situation. Kind of similar with like how the writing in Daredevil season 2, like it was great, but it didn't really fit Matt Murdock's character a little bit to an extent. But he worked with what he got from that.
mm-hmm.
It depends. Look, like it really depends on everything. Like it depends on the editing. It depends on the actors and their ability to act. Like you can have like all of these things. Like even the script has to be together for it to be a good movie. Because if it's not going to be coherent and it's not going to work together, then you're not going to have a good story and good visuals combination. Like there has been movies that distracts a person from like you can have the most like okay Transformers has to me in like I think pretty cool visuals in my opinion in terms of graphics at the time, in terms of how they made like Optimus Prime and the entire Autobots, right, and Decepticons. I thought the idea of it was really cool, but the writing was kind of crap, and it was over sexualized with women. You know,
Yeah. Which I see what you're saying.
and like you just it was just the visuals could not save the story.
Nope.
Like
Nope.
even like I do like what's his name? God, I should know his name. Sam Witwicky.
Oh,
the
Simon
actor,
Wiki? Yeah.
the actor that plays him. I should know him by now, but he did a really good job. I really did like him. But the thing is, at the
Wait.
same time,
The actor that played Sam in the Transformers movies?
yes,
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Oh my god, how sorry
I was
guys.
gonna say,
I was like, dude, like we all know who Shia LaBeouf is.
I just totally blanked.
We
Forget his name,
talked
man.
about him a lot in our final year at at like cast.
I
Like
know.
there was a video of him that just like that like he was
Wonderful.
talking.
do
Shia
we
LaBeouf.
in its name?
Oh my
I,
god!
I wasn't even thinking of that. I was thinking of the do it.
Oh, the do it too. Oh, that part as well.
That
I
was-
really forgot about that.
That was
I was
another one.
literally, I was thinking about the musical. Like that one made me die laughing. But but don't make your dreams be dreams. Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it.
Make your dreams come true.
Oh my gosh, that's iconic.
And so Shia LaBeouf, yeah, he's a good actor, but for the movie, he couldn't save the entire movie. So
Nope,
No.
not even Megan Fox. Well, Megan Fox did kind of save the movie, but still.
yeah, I don't know. But how much quote unquote like are you? I don't know. Like I don't like the director, man. He's like Michael Bay, man. Michael Bay, I think, would over sexualize his movies. Even with you've seen his like Mutant Ninja Turtles, same thing.
Well, he
Yeah.
casted Megan Fox both times, so
Yeah, exactly.
and she clearly hates him. I don't know why she still goes back to him.
I thought it was
Check.
rumored that she did, right?
Yeah, like there were like I believe this was public knowledge, but she called Michael Bay Hitler at one point.
Cow.
Yeah,
Okay,
and that was like
that's a giant leap in logic there.
Yeah.
that was no, like it's actually true. Like there were videos out there when after the Transformers movies, she called him that, and I was like, damn,
That's
you
what
still
I-
came
that's
back
what
to
I
him
know.
after the
That's why-
TMT.
That's what I'm referring to. It's like she's comparing him to an authoritarian dictator.
Yeah,
Big
who was a
leap.
really bad egg. But
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's still like Michael Bay is just one of those directors where like you see his name and you know the movie is just gonna be so visually good. It's just the writing is shit.
It was weird, man. Like in the second movie, it was literally talking about there was a he put balls on Transformers. Like what the
Yeah.
heck?
Did he
Yeah.
actually?
He did. I still remember it, bro. Like God, like Jesus. It was. If you look back in the movie, it's when one of the Transformers, this big one, was tearing down the pyramid, and then like one, and just as a joke, right? One of the actors was like, you gotta nuke them. You gotta nuke the top of the pyramid. I'm right below the scrotum. He literally, word for word, kind of like literally said, I'm right below the scrotum. He's
Oh
like,
my god, not this.
so what was Michael Bay thinking, bro?
He was.
Clearly, he's obsessed with balls and tits. Like we all got established from that, and he loves explosions too. Lots of explosions.
Yep.
It's like he sees a
Cool.
pair of tits. Explosion.
It was not like, I don't think that's not art. Like, I mean, it's art in terms of the way the Transformers were made. I thought that was very impressive. I think it's cool. I think he lost an opportunity. How can I put this? He could have made it like Fast and the Furious. You know what I mean? Like in a way that like there's a lot of cars involved, so racing could have been involved. But the thing is, like, to the way that there's like secret missions, like he did that for the movies, but he just over sexualized everything. You know? I don't know. It's a whole roundabout thing saying that yeah, he did that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, like we're at that point where like the Fast and the Furious franchise could easily. Honestly, the Fast and the Furious franchise nowadays could cross over in the Transformers movies if we think about it. Because
Yeah.
because if you look back at their latest trailer, I don't know if they're flying through space, but it kind of looked like that they were flying in a I don't know, with a spaceship or a jet or something. And it's just like, how do we go from street racing to flying into a jet? Like, but then again, I saw tanks and I saw submarines coming through frozen ice. So, you know, Fast and the Furious could literally just be Transformers movies at this point. Because that's pretty much where we're at.
You guys may or may not like my take on the Fast and Furious films.
No.
Oh, no, go
Open.
ahead.
Open forum.
Okay. way too oversaturated, way too repetitive.
You know
and
what?
it's a
Screw
series
you.
I think it needs to end before they go too far into that territory of uh you know what I mean?
No, Nathan, I don't know what you mean. Those are gems to me. How dare you insult my favorite
Sorry,
movie?
I just think there's way too many of them.
Nathan, go fuck you. No, sorry.
Yeah.
No, okay, I'm
Sorry,
kidding.
but all I know of these movies is drive really fast and shoot things. That's
That's true.
that's
It's
all.
kind of like a drive-by shooting.
Okay. To your
That was a dark joke.
Movie is that accurate? Grand Theft Auto the movie?
basically. So
To an extent, not exactly to Grand Theft Auto's level, but
you can ride planes, you can do missions in the sky, bro. Like you can do like it's weird. You can literally do hits with like and be an assassin in that game. I don't know. I haven't played GTA in a while. But okay. So here's my take on that real quick. I was I was trying to finish I was rewatching the Fast and Furious movies with my girlfriend, and I haven't finished them all. But I come to find that there's some movies I, I love the series. I love the cars. Okay, I love the music. I love the idea about it behind it. But I come to find after rewatching these movies after all these years, the Fast and the Furious movies is like a plate of dinner. And this is what I mean by this, okay? Picture that you had a plate of salad, and then you had some potatoes, mashed potatoes, and you had some steak, okay? Some people want to eat the lettuce first, which is like their least favorite thing, and then go to the steak, which is the juicier part, right? Some people want to say, screw it, I'm going to go straight for the steak and I'll eat the lettuce later. This is what I mean by that. So, Fast and the Furious, in all their movies, some of their movies are the lettuce and some of their movies are the steak. My steak is Fast Five, Tokyo Drift, the first movie, and I want to see this 9 one. I hear it's not that good, but the rest, to me, it's kind of they're kind of like they're all over the place at that point. So the rest is the lettuce, some potatoes, but the rest is the lettuce. You know what I mean? So
Like, I'll admit,
right.
the most I've seen of any of those movies was the tribute scene to Paul Walker, which I will give them that. They did a great job with that. I felt that was well done.
that was Fast Seven, I believe.
Yeah.
And that was my one of my favorites. That bro,
Yeah,
I cried.
it was done really well. It was done really well. I'll give it that. But
Yeah.
that's all I think of over the years, like seeing these movies come out. It's like, how many of them are they gonna make?
Yeah, it's
just-
gotten to the point where it's almost repetitive.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I'm a big fan, I do agree.
Yeah, I think the franchise should have stopped at 7, in my opinion. Only because, like, after the tribute to Paul Walker, I'm like, you know what? The family dispersed. They remember each other, and you know what? You could just end the franchise right there. And if you wanted to, like, continue the story in like 5, 10 years down the line, then yes, you can feel free to do it that way. Kind of like how Dexter did it, right?
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, why couldn't they have ended it with
Well,
goodbye with 7, right?
well,
Like
the reason why, and Vin Diesel did an interview, was because he made a promise to Paul Walker that he'll do 10. That was the whole plan that they were originally. If Paul Walker was still alive, the plan was to do 10. And so, as a tribute to him, he will go all the way to 10. So there's one more to go.
I mean, I'm happy he's honoring his promises, but I think we're all ready for it to be done.
I also agree. I do.
there comes a point where even the stories you love, it's like you have to recognize when like it needs to end. Otherwise, it goes through it like it rots basically.
I agree.
There's a certain point where it dies, and then it becomes a rotting corpse.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
like last season of Scrubs. As far as I've heard, I've never watched that show. I've seen it pop up on Disney Plus, and I'm like, should I even bother watching it if I know the last season is garbage?
That's yeah, which is
I
fair.
think Dexter had that issue as well, where that kind of affected it. Unless,
Well,
corrupt me.
Dexter started off good. Like I believe their best season was around like 4 or 5. I believe that was their best seasons. But then
Yeah.
after 6 and 7 and 8, it just kind of dragged on a little bit. It was kind of the same repetitive motion. I'm like, come on, just get straight to something different.
Yeah.
Then when 8 and 9 hit, I was like, okay, no, this is horrible. This has gone off the deep end, and it kind of ruins Dexter's whole character development. And it's like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of like saying that the buildup is good, but if you don't have a way to end the story, you're just going on forever. Like, have a path of how you want your story to go. If you want to last 3 seasons, do 3 seasons. If you have a 10-season story, make sure it is well drawn out. And if you don't have any plans for 10 seasons, it's going to look really messy. So you can tell which stories are planned out and which ones that failed with the ones that have very shitty endings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's just how I see it. So I never seen Scrubs either. But I did hear that the last season itself also wasn't the greatest. So
Yeah.
again, teach their own. But
still.
yeah.
Well, the most emblematic show. Wait, I know we're referring to movies when we're talking about the Fast and the Furious, but the same point stands, right? Is the longest running show being The Simpsons. That's been on a decline for years.
Yeah, but the difference with shows like The Simpsons is because it's basically how could I like describe it? It's basically you watch each episode, but then it's back to the same setting as what it was. Kind of like SpongeBob, Rick and Morty, Family Guy, those kind of shows, right? It's basically you watch the episode, but then all of a sudden it goes back to the family just eating dinner together. You know what I mean? Like it's the same. It's basically you see the development in each of the characters, but then it just goes back to the way it kind of started, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about that with Rick and Morty? That
Rick and Morty.
that clip that came out recently where Christopher Lloyd appeared as a live action Rick.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, because when you consider that Rick and Morty is a parody of Doc Brown and Marty McFly from Back to the Future, and it's like that's perfect. That's literally perfect.
That's like ironic timing. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Are they actually making a movie, or is that just like an April Fool's joke? It's not
Well-
April, of course, but like, is that real?
It's not from April.
No. I'm saying it's not April now.
Yeah, okay. I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's from an upcoming episode.
Really?
I think. I don't know. I don't watch the show, so
So the show took a dark turn last episode. Season 5 was crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's very dark. Like you watch the entire show and it makes sense in the end, and I cannot tell if it ruined it for me or it just when you find out. Okay, so this is for anything. When there's a long time show and there's like all these fan theories of like what the hell is happening, like what if this is the thing? What if this is the thing? And it turns out everybody was wrong. Everybody was wrong. So, and then when you find out the answer of what it was that we were thinking about, what the show was about, like where was it going? The answers it was going to be. I just can't tell if it ruined it for me, honestly. But even the creators, they were like, they didn't want to do it this way. They didn't want to finish the show the way they did. They just wanted to continue on doing one-offs, different stories, different adventures. for a while, maybe forever. I don't know. Just it makes sense, but for this to happen, I get it now. I get why they didn't want to do it.
Yeah, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we actually do have a good amount of material here. I think we're getting close to an hour.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to say?
There's
Okay.
one thing I wanted to talk about, and that was the Spider-Man 2 game trailer and the Wolverine release titles from Sony. Those got dropped out, and I am ecstatic. Not only are we getting a sequel to Spider-Man 2, but we also saw a infamous villain slash anti-hero character in Spider-Man 2, and that is Venom. I was like,
Ooh.
Sony, are you hinting something? Are you
Yeah.
hinting something? Are you implementing Spider-Man's gonna show up in Venom 2? Are you implementing Venom is gonna show up in No Way Home? I don't
Yeah.
know. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Give us the tea.
Craven the Hunter. That was another.
Craven the Hunter too, yeah. Yeah, like Craven the Hunter was supposed to be in game, but also the movie for that is coming out as well. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played the MCU's Quicksilver, is playing the role of Craven, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Taylor Johnson playing a Spider-Man villain would be interesting to see. Which again, I don't know if Sony is gonna wrap Tom Holland's Spider-Man after No Way Home into Sony Spider-Verse and then go from there. But I think using the Craven Hunter storyline, I don't know, like it's just basically they're just throwing in a random Spider-Man villain and just see how well the story goes, kind of like Mobius, but Morbius at least can kind of hold his ground to an extent. But for Craven, it's like if you don't see Spider-Man in there, it just doesn't make any sense. Kind of like with them making spinoffs with the Lizard. Kind of like how they're making spinoffs with what's another one? Kind of like how they're making spinoffs with Shocker, Green Goblin, Rhino. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're basically just making spinoffs of Spider-Man villains that we really don't care for at the moment.
Yeah.
Like except Venom and Carnage, that's fine. But the rest of them we don't really care, except for Green Goblin. Sorry, I take that back. But the rest of them we don't really need a solo film of each of the Spider-Man villains. I just think they're just going to be cash grabs and they're going to be hit or misses.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to my point. I'm very excited to see what that Venom is showing up in Spider-Man 2, and the Wolverine game is gonna be coming out as well. I'm excited for those, but they're not gonna be released until 2023. I'm like, damn it, Sony. Or Insomniac. Like, what are y'all doing?
Taking their time, I think.
Oh, what's that, Nathan?
Taking their time.
Yeah, I'm taking my real time on this one.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's good though. Hopefully it's whatever they come out with. It's good story wise. Like I just with the games, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think we're good. One of y'all can like sign us out.
Nathan, you want to this time?
I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah,
you
I
can sign
know.
us out, bud. Sign us out.
Well, thanks for watching this episode of Nerd Legion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Nathan.
I'm Jose.
And I'm Josh.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.